State laws banning abortion are automatically taking effect today.
Breaking news, of course, tonight on your 5 News at 6. The U.S. Supreme Court overturning the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling. It gave American women the federal right to get an abortion.
The United States Supreme Court has, in fact, overruled Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey, thereby restoring the state of Arkansas the authority to prohibit abortions.
And with today's ruling, abortion almost entirely banned in Arkansas. We'll explain the state's trigger law and have reaction from both sides of the aisle as protests across the nation are now underway. We're live in Fayetteville and Little Rock with the latest. Thanks for joining us here for your 5 News at 6. I'm Erica Thomas.
And I'm Darren Bobb. It marks the first time in a half-century that individual states will make the call on abortion laws. It means the right to an abortion in the first trimester is no longer federally protected.
Now, this doesn't mean abortion is illegal in every state in the U.S. Individual states can now make their own laws about abortion. Arkansas and Oklahoma are among 13 states with what's called a trigger law. You can see a map of those states there on your screen. Now, it's legislation in place that outlaws abortion in the event that Roe v. Wade is overturned. Arkansas Attorney General Leslie Rutledge certified the court ruling this afternoon.
Yeah, 5 News reporter Rachel Williams is here. Rachel, that means the trigger law is now in effect in the state.
And we want to explain exactly what that means. In short, almost all abortions are now legal in Arkansas. There is one exception, that is if a mother's life is in danger. I spoke with Jill Lenz, the Associate Dean at the University of Arkansas School of Law, and she shares just how specific the law is.
No exception for rape, no exception for incest, no exception for, some sort of severe abnormality in the baby. The only exception we will have going forward is to preserve the life of the pregnant person.
Oklahoma lawmakers passed a bill earlier this year banning most abortions, only making an exception to save the mother. The state's governor says the Supreme Court ruling today makes the abortion law very clear. Rachel Williams, 5 News. Darren? Erica?
All right, Rachel, thanks. This move by the Supreme Court has some celebrating while others are devastated.
Yeah, 5 News reporter Catherine Gilker is live in downtown Fayetteville, where she's been hearing from both sides of this issue. Catherine.
I'm here on the Fayetteville Square, where people who are upset by today's Supreme Court decision are planning to hold a protest here in just a little bit. As you can see behind me, they are already getting ready for that protest. It's set to start in less than 30 minutes. Earlier today, I spoke with abortion provider Planned Parenthood, which shares those frustrations. We're also hearing from conservative research group Family Council, which considers this ruling a win. Both abortion rights and anti-abortion advocates speaking out after Friday's Supreme Court ruling.
We want to thank the U.S. Supreme Court for correcting one of the most egregious decisions in the history of our nation.
Executive Director of Family Council Jerry Cox says this day is historic and the sanctity of human life will now be protected. He says the state now needs to step up and help women and girls with unplanned pregnancies by strengthening the 50 pregnancy help organizations across Arkansas.
This idea that somehow abortion is a right was never written into the ruling. It was never been part of our law. It's certainly not part of the Constitution. And we're grateful that the court has righted this wrong ruling. They finally did the right thing.
Emily Wales is the president of Planned Parenthood Great Plains.
Erasing nearly 50 years of constitutional protections for abortion is beyond devastating.
Wales says the organization must change its services, but will still offer what it can. She says Planned Parenthood stopped performing abortions in Arkansas Friday, meaning patients will have to travel to a different state, attempt to terminate their pregnancies without medical support, or continue their pregnancies against their will.
State-by-state bans on abortion will worsen structural racism and disproportionately harm low-income and rural communities. Kansas now stands as the only state in our region that protects the legal right to an abortion for any one of the many reasons patients seek this care.
And the protest is going to start in less than 30 minutes, and we'll keep on seeing more and more people show up here to the Fayetteville Town Center where the protest will take place. We'll hear why people came out to the protest coming up at 10. I'm live in Fayetteville, covering News Relive. Catherine Gilker, 5 News.
All right, Catherine, thanks. Meanwhile, many Arkansas lawmakers and candidates are weighing in on today's landmark decision.
Senator Tom Cotton tweeted, quote, highly commend the millions of Americans who toiled for years to achieve this great victory for unborn life.
GOP gubernatorial nominee Sarah Huckabee Sanders tweeting as well, as Americans, we value the sanctity of life, and it is our very nature to protect it. As a mom, I know the love that each of my 3 children have brought to our family. And as governor, I'll fight to keep Arkansas one of the most pro-life states in the nation.
Meanwhile, running on the Democratic ticket for governor, nominee Chris Jones said SCOTUS overturning Roe sets a dangerous precedent. No matter your race, age, or socioeconomics, we believe women and their doctors should have control over their medical decisions. Not the government, not politicians, and certainly not the courts.
Right now, protests continue across the nation. Thousands of protesters and supporters of the issue have gathered outside the U.S. Supreme Court building in Washington, chanting and holding signs, as you can see here.
These protests also happening at state capitals across the U.S. Sarah Hrabakowitz is at the state capitol tonight in Little Rock, where many are gathering to protest the Supreme Court's decision.
Yeah, she joins us now with the latest on this. Sarah, what does this mean for Arkansans tonight?
Thousands are here at the Arkansas State Capitol, all protesting that overturn of Roe v. Wade. You can hear the chants around me, speakers behind me. There's voter registration, people looking for what's next, what action can come from this. What happened today in Arkansas is at 2 p.m., Attorney General Leslie Rutledge certified a trigger law for a near-abortion ban in Arkansas. What that means is that in case of saving the mother's life, that would be the only reason abortion would be legal in Arkansas. This law was already approved by the governor and state legislature, so it really was just waiting for that Supreme Court ruling to go into effect. Now, it is only allowed when saving the mother's life, so there is some confusion of what would count as a high-risk pregnancy. So I asked the Attorney General today for clarification on that issue.
I'm going to say this as clearly as I know how and as clearly as the law states. The only time that an abortion is legal in Arkansas is to save the life of the mother.
It would be up to the physician to determine if something would be a life-saving procedure or not. There's also some confusion around contraceptives. Today, the governor said that contraceptives would continue to be available, but there are still questions about some specific ones like Plan B. So it's not clear where those would fall. The governor was clear, though, that he's not planning any immediate action or response legislatively to this overturn today. He's waiting until maybe the next general session, if at all, to address it further. We will have more comments from him later on this evening. But again, thousands are continuing to protest here. More just keep protesting, just coming in to join. There are speakers continuing. Not sure how long this will go, but we'll keep you posted here from the Capitol. For now, reporting at the Capitol, Sarah Hrabakowitz, 5 News.
All right, Sarah, thanks. And for updates on this developing story sent straight to your phone, you can download the free 5 News app. Just be sure to opt in for the notifications.
Let's take a